If there's one cut of meat that I've eaten the most in my life, it definitely has to be pork belly. Now, I always get interested or intrigued when I see a new way or a new style of eating it, and today is no exception. This sandwich is one that I've been dying to try. Welcome to Cooking with Chef Tuan, and today we're going to be making a classic Peruvian sandwich, probably the most popular sandwich in Peru, called pan con chicharrón. Now, it is a fresh French roll with some crispy fried pork belly. It has a beautiful ají amarillo mayo, and then a salsa criolla, which is red onions, lime juice, salt, chilies, all piled together to create a magnificent sandwich. All right, guys, let's get started. Now today I'm gonna be using a pressure cooker to cook the pork so it's nice and tender. I'm gonna add all the ingredients, which are listed in the description box down below. Just give this a stir and then submerge your pork belly, turn it on high. Now this is gonna go for about 45 minutes. Now during that time, we're gonna be making our own bread today, which I'm using my Vietnamese baguette recipe, which is also linked down below. The only difference is how we're gonna shape it at the end. So just follow that recipe and you'll have some awesome bread for this delicious sandwich. Or you can definitely always go and buy a nice crusty French roll from your local bakery or grocery store. All right, so now we're gonna make our salsa criolla. Now it's important that you're cutting the onions the way that I'm doing. So cut one in half and then in quarters, and then you want to cut out that little core so it sits flat, and then slice it really thin. I couldn't find any Peruvian red peppers, so I had to resort to using a Fresno as a substitute. And here all I'm doing is just trimming the ends off, splitting in half, removing the core and the seeds. Give this a nice wash and just slice it as thin as you can. And then all you have to do now is just combine it with the red onions that you sliced earlier. Now once you're done with that, hit this with a pinch of kosher salt. Always season your food. So I'm going to take a lime and I'm going to add the zest along with the juice, because the juice is going to be sour, which is what we want, but I also want the flavor of the lime from the zest. It's going to help cut through the richness of this sandwich. This salsa right here looks very vibrant and colorful, so I want the flavors to match the intensity. Put that into the fridge, and then we're on to our next component, which is the ají amarillo mayo. So all I have here is about 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, and I did end up adding 2 tablespoons of ají amarillo for a 50-50 mix. And all you gotta do is just stir it, and you're done. Put it in the fridge, and we're ready to go. Now 45 minutes is up. I turned off the pressure cooker and let it come down naturally. And then you look at how soft our pork is. Chopstick goes through the skin, really nice and easy. The meat is really tender, so we'll let that cool while we go and finish our bread, which has now been done proofing for about 45 minutes to an hour. And I did eventually weigh these guys out to 115 grams per dough ball. So now, as I said before, the only difference between this and the Vietnamese baguette is the way that we shape it. As you can see, I'm forming into little balls. And then in Peru, this is how they shape their bread for this sandwich. I just see them karate chop in the half and kind of like put them together and just dust them with flour. I'm going to do this with half of them, and the other half I'm going to score with a little razor blade. Once you're done shaping these, you want to put these onto a parchment paper lined sheet tray. Preheat your oven with a pan of water in there to 475. We will be baking these for 22 minutes. All right, so 40 minutes has gone by and we have our bread nice and proofed. These guys are ready to go, but these guys, I'm going to score them a bit. Let's see. All right, then you get a spray bottle and you're gonna spray these guys with some water. It's gonna help build a really nice crust. Into the oven. There we go. We'll see you guys in a bit. Now after 10 minutes of baking, you want to remove this tray of water and then put them back in for another 12 minutes. Now here I preheated some oil to 350 and we're going to fry these until they're nice and crispy. Now if you never fried pork belly before, they do explode, so I added a splash guard and paper towels on top. And if you're cooking along with me, you can see that everything's moving just smoothly. The bread is done. The pork belly is still frying. We still have to do one more component that I think I forgot to mention, which is a sweet potato. It's very important for this sandwich. Now the pork belly fried for about 15-16 minutes. Now within the last 5 minutes of frying, I'm gonna take a little sweet potato, peel off what I need, drop it in for like the last 5-6 minutes till these guys get nice and crispy, and then just hit them with a little bit of kosher salt, and we're done with that. And then next thing you know, here you go, done with this pork belly. Look at how beautiful it is. What's even greater is how it sounds. All right, let's try this. You can hear the crunch. I'm sorry for how noisy my refrigerator is. I just noticed that. I'm definitely gonna have to get it checked out tomorrow. We're almost there, but I can't stop snacking on this. Very delicious. All right, we have sandwiches to make. Let's go. We're gonna take our crusty bread and split it. And then we're gonna put down a layer of ají amarillo mayo. And be liberal with it. And then next is our layer of the fried sweet potatoes. This gives it a very interesting flavor component. And then we have our succulent pork belly. I'm gonna put about 3 pieces on here. You can definitely pile this as high as you want. And then next thing you know is the salsa criolla. And then I'm gonna put some cilantro just for a little bit of herbaceous freshness, just to cut through everything. And then another layer of the ají amarillo on the top bun. And then just press it all together. And look at what we have here. Now let's take this out to the table for the glamour shot. This is looking mighty fine. So we made pan con chicharrón, a Peruvian breakfast staple, probably the most popular Peruvian sandwich in Peru and outside of Peru for Peruvians out there. But look at this cross section. Have beautiful pork belly. You have the sweet potato, the ají amarillo mayo, the salsa criolla, and today I put cilantro on. I've seen with people put like mint, other kind of herbs, but also we have this French bread, or pan francés, as they would say in Peru. I think my Spanish is pretty terrible, so the flavors are coming through this. You have the rich pork belly, the ají amarillo or the chili mayo, the lime and the zest. With the zest, you really taste the lime flavor, not just the sourness, but it cuts through the richness of the pork belly. The bread's fantastic, and you know what? It's this, the sweet potato. It really ties everything together. Oh. Now I see why all the Peruvians love this so much. I can't stop. This is an amazing sandwich. Wow. It's got a good amount of heat from the ají amarillo and from the little Fresno peppers that we put in there. Like I said, I couldn't find the rocoto peppers, which I really, really love. But I think Fresnos are, you know, in a tight bind, a good substitute. All right, guys. So that was pan con chicharrón, a Peruvian sandwich that, you know, I'm speechless. It's a very delicious sandwich. Go try this recipe. And I think I just fell in love with this sandwich, and you should too. Guys, if you like the content, smash the like button, hit subscribe, leave me comments down below. Also, go check out my blog. I appreciate you stopping by. I love making content for you. Be safe out there, and as always, peace.